The next topic is shares issued for consideration other than cash. Meaning is, suppose you purchased an asset, the company purchased an asset. Then in return, you are supposed to pay cash, but instead of paying them cash, you will issue them shares. That is the meaning of shares issued for consideration other than cash. So, we will see the journal entries in this topic. The other section is over. Like see, when we started the chapter, I had given a heading like issue of shares, and below that we had two subsections. One is issue of shares for cash. That's what we discussed so far. So forfeiture, everything is over now. Next topic is the second subhead under issue of shares. I don't remember whether I gave in the beginning, but I have explained this. I have given the heading like issue of shares for cash. That's the first heading. Then all topics under that heading is over now. The second one is subhead under issue of shares is issue of shares for consideration other than cash. This particular topic will be asked usually for 4 marks question, not for 8 marks usually. For 8 marks they will be giving that forfeiture and all. So, we will see the journal entries in this section. You give the heading on purchase of asset, and this journal entry is familiar to all of you. You have learned in 11th standard. When you purchase an asset, what is the entry? Assets account debtor. Then instead of writing to cash, now we are issuing shares. So first you write to vendor, that means the seller. Vendor means the seller. To vendor's account, and the purchase consideration you must write. The amount what you have to write is purchase consideration. I hope you know this term. Okay, why we wrote to vendors? Anyways, you can't write to cash because we are not paying them cash. So to vendors means they are our creditor to whom we have to pay. We have to pay some amount to the seller or the vendor. So that is why they are being credited. In the next entry, we will issue them shares. So two separate entries we are writing. So assets account debtor to vendors account, and always vendors account must be written with purchase consideration. Now what is purchase consideration? That term is familiar to you. It is the amount paid by the purchasing company, that means by our company, to the seller or to the vendor in return for purchasing their assets. Understood? Amount paid by the purchasing company to the seller company or to the vendor in return for purchase of assets. So this is the entry when you purchase asset. Suppose instead of purchasing an asset, you are purchasing entire business. You are taking over another business. That also can happen. Not only their assets, you can take over their entire business. That process is called taking over or takeover. Or merging also, sometimes you can say like merging also. So when you take over their business, what happens is, merging is actually not takeover, because when they merge together, that means two companies are merging and forming a new company. So both will decide in its functioning. Whereas when you take over, that means their assets and liabilities you are taking over. Your company is taking over. That time your journal entry is, we will debit assets just like previous entry. Not only assets we are taking over their liabilities also. Leave one line here under assets and always write two liabilities. Okay, this is the basic entry. Assets account debtor, two liabilities. That means assets and liabilities we have taken over. Then like previous entry, just to the vendor you have to pay all this. So to vendors account, and vendors account, which amount you must write? The purchase consideration. Always against vendors account you must write the purchase consideration. Then okay, so this is the basic entry when you purchase a business. And now after you write all these three figures, if the shortage is on the debit side, you must write there goodwill account. If the shortage is on the credit side, you must write there capital reserve account. Either of these two will appear. Not together, either you will get a goodwill, that means shortage on the debit side, or you write to capital reserve if the shortage on the credit side. That's why I asked you to leave one line. So always leave one line when you write this entry. Okay, now why we are debiting goodwill? See, assets and liabilities you are taking over, and you know that how they are computing the purchase consideration, how the company is considering or paying the purchase consideration. They will find the difference between A minus L, assets minus liabilities. Suppose you computed the amount as 2 lakhs. Understood? Their assets and their liabilities we computed and we found the difference, we got 2 lakhs. But we paid them 6 lakhs as purchase consideration. Actually, you need to pay only this A minus L, that is the net assets figure, 2 lakhs. But you paid 6 lakhs. Why that excess amount? That excess amount is called what? That I have explained in 11th, I think, 11th standard. That's called goodwill. The excess amount you pay over the net assets value. Net assets means this A minus L. So that 4 lakhs is goodwill. That is the meaning actually. What you have to do is you write all these 3 figures. When you get shortage on debit side, you write goodwill. Understood? But this is the concept. Then if you are writing on the credit side, the meaning is A minus L was 4 lakhs, you paid only 2 lakhs. That is the situation. Purchase consideration was 4 lakhs, but you paid only 2 lakhs. I mean, not the purchase consideration, the net assets, the amount you are supposed to pay was 4 lakhs, but in effect you have paid only 2 lakhs. So it's kind of a reserve for you, that we'll write it on the credit side. Understood? So that is the concept behind this entry. The easier way is fill all the other 3 figures and you write the shortage. The next is you give the heading for issue of shares. So now we purchased, sometimes we purchase assets, sometimes we purchase entire business. Next we have to issue shares. To whom you are issuing? The vendor. So vendor will be now debited. Earlier we credited him. Now we are paying him. To we are issuing shares means which account will get credited? To share capital. If there is premium, you must write one more account which is securities premium reserve account. Understood? So this is the entry when you issue shares to vendor. Then this time when you issue shares, always you need to get the number of shares issued, isn't it? It won't be always mentioned in the question. So you will have to compute how many shares did the company issue to vendor. Then only we can find the amount, isn't it? If you want to write the share capital figure, SPR and all, you need to know how many shares you issued to the vendor. So for that, number of shares to be issued is equal to, use this formula for that, purchase consideration means the amount you have to pay them, pay the vendor, purchase consideration divided by issue price of a share. The denominator is very important because what I wrote is issue price. See, don't draw a box here, that is just to highlight this word. Issue price of a share means, see, you have a difference between the face value and the issue price. Sometimes face value will be only 10, but we issued at 12 means there is a premium. So premium will be added with the face value to get the issue price. So here what I have written is issue price, not the face value. So take that figure carefully. So purchase consideration divided by issue price of a share, one share, you will get the number of shares to be issued. Okay, so this is all about this section, shares issued for consideration other than cash. Now we will work out illustration number. Okay, then before that, just see example 6 given on page number 8.59. Did you see the balance sheet given there? For this section also, sometimes, rarely only, but sometimes they will ask you the balance sheet. Did you see the balance sheet section there? They have written 3 heads like authorized, issued, subscribed, all those we discussed. Then we have subscribed and fully paid up category. Below that, did you see they have written 5 lakh equity shares of 10 each within brackets. Out of the above, 1 lakh equity shares have been issued pursuant to a contract. Pursuant means in relation to a contract, related to a contract for consideration other than cash. That means that 1 lakh you have issued for consideration other than cash. So you would have purchased some asset for 1 lakh, or sometime you would have taken over a business, and this is what you have issued as the shares. Then other than that 5 lakh altogether you have issued, isn't it? Yes. That 5 lakhs, out of 5 lakhs, 1 lakh is for consideration. So 4 lakhs you would have issued for cash. That's the meaning, you would have issued to the public. You can either issue this to the public. For raising capital, you can issue shares to the public. That is one method that we discussed first. Second one is, when you purchase asset, instead of paying them cash, we will issue shares. So that's what they have written within brackets. Out of this 5 lakhs, 1 lakhs were issued for consideration other than cash. So that is how you have to do the balance sheet. There is nothing new, you just have to write within brackets so many shares were issued for consideration other than cash. Then you give one more heading like issue of shares to promoters. You give as the next heading issue of shares to promoters. That balance sheet you don't have to draw, just read it from the textbook, that's enough. You understood? No, you just have to write within brackets. Okay, issue of shares to promoters. So who are promoters? One who promotes the company, or one who helps in the formation of the company or incorporation of the company. That means in the beginning of the company, they will help you to form the company. They are called promoters, and we will have to pay them some remuneration. So instead of paying them cash, you can issue shares. That also will come under issue of shares for consideration other than cash. So when you issue shares to promoters, again 2 entries must be there. Here we discussed 2 entries, no? One is when you purchase, either you purchase asset or you purchase business. So 1 entry we discussed there. Then when you issue the shares to vendors. So 2 entries we have. Similarly for promoters also we have 2 entries. One is why we are paying them this amount or remuneration, because they are bearing the formation expenses or preliminary expenses, or you can write incorporation expenses. That is why we are paying them amount. So they are bearing these expenses, so we will debit from company's point of view. It's an expense for you, so we are debiting, and it is to be given to promoters. That is first entry. Later when you issue shares to promoters, the entry will be promoters account debtor to share capital. If there is securities premium, you must write to securities premium reserve account. Understood? So just like we did issue of shares to vendors, here also it is the same thing. But here when you write, it's not assets we are debiting, it's the expenses. Formation expenses debted to promoters, then we will issue them. Next, issue of shares to underwriters. Now, who is an underwriter? Underwriter means who will subscribe the shares which is not subscribed by the public. Understood? The company will issue some shares to the public. It is not necessary that the public should apply all shares issued by the company. There are situations of under subscription. We learned that already, isn't it? 1 lakh we issued, they subscribed only 80,000. So under subscription or under subscribed situation, when it happens, the underwriters will come. Underwriters will come means what they do is they will subscribe the shares which is not subscribed by the public. So what is the advantage for the company? We are getting the money, isn't it? We are issuing shares to raise capital. So they will come and subscribe the shares, the underwriters. For that, we will have to pay them underwriting commission, a remuneration we have to pay. That's called underwriting commission or underwriters commission. And instead of paying this commission in the form of cash, now in this situation, we can pay them in the form of shares. That's what we are discussing here. So the journal entry for that will be, again 2 journal entries you have to write like this. Give the heading issue of shares to underwriters, and the first journal entry, underwriting commission account, debtor to whom we are paying, to underwriters account. Then we will issue them shares, so that is underwriters account debtor to share capital to, if there is premium you write this, there is no premium, no need to write SPR and all. Understood? Underwriting commission debtor to underwriters, then you pay them. So now we will work out problems on this section. Illustration number 32 we will do first. Okay, did you see the question there? Tiny Toys Limited purchased the business of Ram Brothers, entire business you are purchasing. For rupees 1,80,000, that is the purchase consideration. It is the amount, not the number of shares. Rupee symbol is there. Payable in fully paid shares of 10 each. Past journal entries in their books if shares issued at par and at premium. 2 situations are there. But when you purchase business, the entry will be common for both these cases. So purchasing business, only 1 entry you need to write. Issue of shares, 2 entries, 1 at par and 1 at premium we will write. So draw the format of journal. Illustration 32. Give the column headings and all. Okay, so when you purchase business, here assets names are not mentioned, isn't it? Purchased the business. Okay, though it is mentioned like purchased business, assets and liabilities separately not mentioned in the question. Did you see? So what you have to write is, since we don't have assets and liabilities separately, you just write assets account debtor. No need to leave space. The first entry you write to vendors. Here the vendor's name is Ram Brothers. Understood? When you write vendor's name also you have to be careful. 2 names are there. Tiny Toys means your company. You purchase their business or their asset. So vendor is Ram Brother. And what is the purchase consideration given? 1,80,000. Always purchase consideration must be written against the vendor's name. So this is the journal entry. Now we will issue them shares. And this is at par. You write here at par. Ram Brothers account debtor. How we are issuing them? We are issuing at par means just write to share capital. And always when you write the second entry, you have to see how many shares did we issue. Understood? So how many shares did we issue in this situation? How will you compute? You write the formula here, number of shares issued is equal to purchase consideration by issue price of a share. You must write the formula everywhere. So here the purchase consideration is 1,80,000, issue price means 10. So how many shares it is? 18,000. Now since this is at par, you need not compute the number of shares issued like this, because Ram and Brothers we know that they will take the purchase consideration figure, that is 1,80,000. If debit side is 1,80,000, automatically credit side also should be 1,80,000 since there is no premium here. So if there is no premium in the question, it's easy, you just have to write the same figure. It is not compulsory that you have to do this calculation. But whenever it is issued at premium, you must compute the number of shares issued. Okay, so we will do the next one. I mean at premium also we have issued, no? So that one we will write. Again purchase of business you don't have to repeat, it's the same entry. Now at premium, this will be Ram and Brothers account debtor. Is it Ram and Brothers? Ram Brothers, okay. Ram Brothers account debtor to Oh, they have mentioned equity shares, so you write to equity share capital. To equity share capital. Previous journal entry also you make it as equity share capital, since they have issued specifically equity shares. To, here we have securities premium reserve. And before you write the amount, you must compute number of shares issued. Write the formula. What is the formula? Which is equal to purchase consideration by issue price. Purchase consideration is 1,80,000. Is the issue price 10? No. You must compute the premium also. So, premium of 20% is written. Did you see that 20%? Always premium must be computed on the face value. So, face value is 10. Premium is given like 20%. That means what is the premium? 2 rupees or 2 rupee per share is the premium. So, what will be the issue price? Issue price will be 12 per share. Understood? So, always compute the premium on the face value. So, that is the premium 2 per share, which we added with the face value. Now, your issue price is 12, and so your number of shares issued will be equal to 15,000 shares. Now, we can write the amounts. Securities premium reserve, we know that it is 2 per share. Now, we got that 2 per share into how many shares we are issuing them? 15,000. So, SPR will be 30. Then next you write Raman Brothers. Raman Brothers always will take the purchase consideration, which is 1,80,000. So, the balance you can write for share capital, that is 1,50,000. Understood? This is how you have to write the shares issued at a premium. Always remember, you must compute the number of shares issued first, then you do that. Then you fill the figures and all. Share capital, you can write the balance always. And vendor will take always the purchase consideration. Illustration 33, the next one. Purchased a running business from Vikas Limited. So, vendor is Vikas. 2,50,000, that's a purchase consideration. How you are paying? 2,20,000, that is the amount you are paying, not the number of shares. 2,20,000 in fully paid shares, balance by a bank draft. So, here should we compute the number of shares issued? Is it needed? Actually, why we are computing the number of shares issued? Then only we can write the amount. But here the amount is directly given, saying that rupees 2,20,000 equity shares you have issued. That means the amount is directly given, no need to compute the figure again. Then balance by a bank draft means balance by a check. The assets and liabilities separately given. So, which journal entry you will write first? This is illustration number 33. Okay, journal entry first, what you can write is just draw the format. Assets in, yes, here separately they have given the name of assets. So, you have to specify like that. Plant and machinery account debtor, building account debtor, then debtor, sundry debtors, debtor, stock, cash, creditors is a liability. So, debtor, stock, cash. All these you have to separately debit, since they have given separately. So, all assets we wrote. Then 2, which is the liability, we have creditors. Leave one line on the debit side. Then you write 2 sundry creditors or simply creditors, whatever it is, correct. Then you must write the basic one, to whom you are paying all this. You are supposed to pay all this to the vendor, sorry. Write vendor's name, that is to Vikas Limited. Yes, Vikas Limited account. Okay. Now you fill all these figures. Plant and machinery figure is 90, 90, 30, 50, 20. Okay, these are the figures given in the question. Then to creditors, what's the figure given? 20,000. Vikas Limited, you know that they will be credited with the purchase consideration, which is given here as 2,50,000, not 2,20,000. 2,20,000 is the share which you issued. You have issued or you have to pay a sum total of 2,50,000, which is the purchase consideration. Now just add your debit and credit sides. Here we have 2,70,000. There you have only, okay, the shortage is on the credit side. There you have 2,80,000. So shortage is on the credit side. The shortage is on credit side. You must write to capital reserve account the difference of 10,000. You can write there. Okay, then we will issue shares to this Vikas Limited. So issue entry we will write, narration also you have to write, just write on purchase of business. Okay, then issue journal entry will be Vikas Limited account debtor to, is it equity share? Yes, equity share capital. So to equity share capital, there is no premium, but the balance they have paid by a bank draft, means through a check. So what is moving out? You must write to bank account. Vikas Limited, just write the purchase consideration there, 2,50,000. Here the bank draft amount is not specifically given, they just mention it as balance. But share capital figure is given directly in the question, 2,20,000 did you see? So automatically balance you can write for the bank. This portion is easy, not like the first one. Okay, so the question is over. Okay, the next one, I am not doing that question. Illustration 34, I will just explain. There you have issued 2,500 shares to promoters and 2,000 shares to underwriters. You remember the entries that we discussed. What's the entry for promoters? The incorporation expense debtor or formation or preliminary you can write. To promoters, you must write 2,500 into 10, 25,000. Then issue entry, promoters debtor to equity share capital. There is no premium there. So just write to equity shares. Equity they haven't mentioned, so simply write to share capital. Okay, the same amount. Since there is no premium, same amount you can write. Then similarly you have to write for underwriters also, that you can write yourself. Okay, so the next question we will discuss in the next video. So learn these basic entries, and while you write the amounts you have to be very careful, especially when you write the second entry. If there is premium and all, always compute the number of shares issued.